Hi everybody, very good afternoon to all of you. Welcome to the Spotlight series. I'm Suman Agarwal. I'm going live today with Dr. Rashmi Rathore, who's from Pune. She's a certified image consultant and a soft skills trainer from Image Consulting Business Institute. Hi everybody, so I see a lot of people joining in. So we'll just wait for a couple of seconds before I see and invite Rashmi to join in, and let me see if she's already here. Rashmi, if you're here, please send me an invite. A request rather. So what's your plan for the New Year's? Does anyone have a plan? What are you planning? Any resolution or some vacation that you have in mind? Any destination that you've thought of? Anything new that you're planning to do in 2023? Nothing. That's boring. यार आप कुछ नहीं कर रहे हो 2023 में? How is that possible? What do you wish to do next year? The same usual stuff that you have been doing in 2022? Or there is something new that you plan to do? Or at least aspire to do? So somebody would like to share? What would you like to do different that you haven't done and that you wish to do? You have a dream to do. What is it? Would you like to share with everyone? Anything new, anything different? Any plan, any dream, any goal? Any goal setting that you've done for 2023? अच्छा, आप सोचो तब तक let's see if Rashmi is here. Okay, so I'm accepting Rashmi's Hi Rashmi.
Very good afternoon, Mrs. Agarwal. How are you?
Very well. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Are you able to see me clearly?
Yes.
Hear me loud
Yes.
and clear?
Yes, very much.
Great. Fantastic. So how are things with you and how's your health now?
All good. Except my sincere apologies for not being able to join this prior. I mean, it took us almost half a year. We've planned this in August. I'm sorry for the delay.
No,
It
that's
just didn't work
perfectly,
out.
perfectly. Yeah.
So I'm glad that today it's happening finally.
Absolutely. I was so looking forward to this.
Thank you. Same here. I mean, the feeling is mutual. I was rather very excited to be on board with you. Thank you.
So tell me, Rashmi, so what were you doing? So if you could just tell us something about yourself, that what was your life before ICBI?
Okay, so I'm a practicing doctor, like I've already mentioned. So I'm a practicing doctor, and prior to coming to ICBI, I was working with a few NGOs pan India and into pageant coaching and practicing medicine. Also, I was doing image consulting and soft skills training, but not as a part of my profession in a very structured way, if I may say. So, if I talk about my life in a flashback, I started my medical career in year 2002. So, this is 20 years plus now. And while I started my career, we all have history of the subject that we study. So one of the most profound quotes that I had come across in history of medicine was that a good doctor is someone who gives you the best medicine. However, the best doctor is the one who gets you off all medication. So I
Absolutely.
started my medical career with a belief that medicine and surgery is not the only solution to a holistic care. Or, in fact, the entire healthcare system should, I would say, look at health in that manner. So I have always believed in that quest. I have explored a lot of arenas, I would say. I have done a lot of research and I have kept adding degrees, diplomas, and certificates to my medical career. I am a specialization like my MD is in repertory, but I did not stop there and I kept looking for it.
So if you
However,
could just
I,
elaborate, what is that?
uh, what is?
What do you specialize in?
MD, I'm an MD in repertory. Repertory is a subject of medicine. So,
Okay.
despite a 10-year long career in medicine, I was still not satisfied with the solutions that we were giving to our patients. I always felt that I needed a little more than what I was already practicing. So, in that quest, parallelly, I was working with pageants. And year 2018, I had represented Delhi and won a national level pageant, wherein the first time I heard the word image consulting. So we had Lieutenant Rita Gangwani, who's been a coach to Manushi Chiller also. She was in panel and she it read like she's the image consultant. And it got me very curious to know what exactly is image consulting about.
Mm-hmm.
So when I was initially also treating my patients, I was not ending at just giving the medicine or symptomatic cure to them. I was talking to them, I was counseling them, and I was trying to bring lifestyle changes to them and helping them through it. So whatever I was practicing, I was, if I can very in a lay manner name it, it was lifestyle changes that I was advising. So to certain patients, I was talking that you should do this thing, get more into meditation, yoga, read this, journaling, and different stuff at different places, but not an out and out image consulting and soft skills training. But when I read first about what is image consulting, I was totally blown by it. I mean, it's such a creative way of bringing change to somebody's life wherein the person enjoys the process. It's not limited to that you take the medicine or you do yoga, you have to get up early or something. No, it's a very interesting and creative manner in which we do it. So I personally enjoyed it, and since then there's been no looking back, I would say. So I kept adding to it, and my patients and clients have come back with phenomenal results. So I am very grateful to ICBI for happening to me.
Fantastic. So you are a medical practitioner, you are a
Yes.
doctor, your father is a scientist, and your mother belongs to a royal family of Rajasthan. So
Yes.
everything is like absolutely in perfect place, perfect position. And you, I want to ask you that what really inspired you to become an image consultant and a soft skills trainer? Because when I see and when I look at your background, I mean,
Yes.
training is nowhere reflected. I mean, you don't have any training background. Uh, you have already got everything in place, you know, with your established practice. So, kya hua all of a sudden? I mean, what really inspired you to get into this kind of space?
I would say this is actually, I do not know how many people know it, but image consulting and soft skills training on a broader spectrum we see is an extension of healthcare system.
Huh.
Not, a lot of people believe it's only about fashion or styling or the external face that you get to see, but not really. I mean, what we are doing actually is internally changing people, you know, working on their self-image, on on the self-doubts that they have, and bringing them, hand-holding and bringing them and upskilling them and in their own happy way. So if we say that I had an established practice and I've changed something, no, I would say I have just extended it and I've added more solutions to my practice. And in a manner, every image consultant or a trainer, a soft skills trainer, is somewhere contributing towards the healthcare system. So they are in their own way, they are doctors of mental health or at times physical health also, because the changes that we bring on the external self, they definitely come back on your internal self. I mean, there's no other way around that it happens. And like
in fact, I
said
wanted
that
to
my
ask
father.
you that you term yourself as image doctor.
Yes, yes.
And
So I think that.
this is a term which is used by Judith most of the time, that we are also image doctors.
Oh, I actually
Because
never knew it. I'm
we
glad to
treat
hear it.
people inside out. So that is the term. I
Yes.
mean, I really relate with that terminology, image doctor. So how did you inspire to call yourself as image doctor?
I felt because I was doing both of them parallelly. So it's not an out and out medical practice that I have, and it's not an out and out completely image consulting that I'm doing. So I'm bringing both of them together. And the idea behind the image doctor, that the brand that I've put, is not just to transform people externally, but to heal, empower, and then transform their lives. So that healing has to happen internally first, and simultaneously image consulting and soft skills training also happening parallel. And I personally believe as long as we don't heal it from inside, the results don't show very for a longer time externally, they do not show. So that healing should come from inside. So I've bridged the gap between medical science and image consulting, and I've brought them together, and I call it the image doctor. And like you said, that my dad, who's a scientist, and my mom, who has a different background. So why this? So my dad, if I say in the least way, he's an international celebrity, and he's Amitabh Bachchan to our family, if I may say. So people look up to him for his styling, for everything that he does. The good part was, as a child, I had an access to a lot of influential people coming from different backgrounds. So they've been bureaucrats, they've been ambassadors, they've been politicians, they've been scientists, doctors, army men, and everywhere, I would say. So that ways, I had a very wide horizon when I had to choose for a career. So all these people in their way have inspired me to be where I am today. So that's the idea. I feel if you do only one thing, you don't reach the zenith of what you can do. It's similarly like when I had been in school, I had not been only an academician. I mean, so I had always worked towards the extracurricular activities. So that ways, I believe when you take everything in hand, it works out good. And for my mother, like you said, I believe all the image consultants would agree to me on that, that the first image consultant in our life is always our mother. So my mom, yes, so my mom has got a very high taste, and she's a very polished lady. So even before I've come into image consulting, I somewhere knew that why a certain piece of jewelry will work for my sister and not for me. I may not have the exact answer that why it's not working, but my mom said, it's not going to work for you because your face shape is different and hers is different. So the kind of skin tone I have and my sister has is different. So why certain things work for me and why they don't, the answers came through ICBI, but we've been practicing it through years. So when I actually read the 12 wardrobe strategies that we practice, and I was like, wow, I mean, this is something we've been practicing through years. So I'm again thankful to ICBI for bringing those answers and making it more clear to me. So basically, I've got it somewhere from my parents, I would say.
Correct. So what kind of clients do you work with, Rashmi? And are they like one-on-one clients? Are they corporate or somebody else?
Mostly for a long period of time, I was working with one-on-one clients because I had personally believed that transformation or healing does not happen overnight. You need to actually handhold people and take them through the process unless it becomes their second nature. So I felt it has to work like that. But recently, in the past few years, I realized that if I want to have a larger impact, I need to address groups as well. So off lately, I've been curating some programs for some schools, colleges, and universities as well. And by 2023, we'll put them into functioning. So now I'm harping on the youth I would say, and working towards them.
So have you like identified that you would only be working with youth, or this is like one of the segment that you would be working with?
No, not that I'll be only working with youth, but that's the next step. So I had done one-on-one. Now it's youth. Then like progressing in the journey, I would say. It's just one more step in the journey, I would say.
So if I may ask you, who are your clients basically? I mean, is there a specific category of people that you work with, or you work with just anybody?
Anybody, I would say. Mostly, initially, how it started was there were patients who were coming and they started enjoying the solutions of image consulting and soft skills training. But now there are people who come with an idea of only getting image consulting done. So I still remember there was this, I had an international client who was a doctor in Qatar, and she was joining an airline industry as a medical staff. So she was very conscious, as in like airline industry has a very polished way of in terms of their appearance, in terms of their conduct. And doctors are not always into fashion or styling. So she was very apprehensive whether she'll be able to match the expectations of a new industry or not. So she was like, I would say, my first client who was a change from being a patient, then being an out and out client who was looking for an image consulting solution. So now I've transitioned. And now I work with everyone, I would say.
Any specific experience that you would like to share with us, which is like very, very close to your heart? One.
It's like asking a mother which child you love more. So I mean, it would be unfair. However, when clients come back and then they say, there's this mother who came back and she said that my child is off the symptoms of whatever the ailment they had, and not just that, now she's academically performing really good. She's come into a very happy space. Or there are people who come for solutions like maybe public speaking, and then they come back and say, I started liking myself. So I really like it. I enjoy it when they come, they've started loving themselves, or more than the people's view towards them, they've started enjoying themselves. When I feel, I mean, that's very rewarding, I would say, when I feel that, I'm there. So I personally enjoy that.
Amazing. So, Rashmi, you know that there are many people who have passed out from ICBI, and a lot of them are doing really well in life. But I want to personally ask you that for you, how did ICBI's certification help you to spread the wings?
Oh, ICBI is like an Oxford of image consulting, if I can say. I mean, you are the leading brand in the world for image consulting and soft skills training. So there's no other institute I'd ever thought about. And after coming to ICBI, I personally felt there are two things that have happened. One, I got a lot of structure into my practice. So I know exactly which are the steps that I can offer to my patients. Earlier, it was little haywire, I would say. I was giving them solutions from everywhere. Now I precisely know what to tell. And of course, it adds a lot of credibility to you. I mean, ICBI being the leading brand, people, when they know that you're from there, I mean, you get a lot of credibility. So that's a big thing, I would say.
So when you tell that you are from ICBI, I mean, do people recognize that value that you bring on the table?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. In fact, I had been putting some posts about IMPA in my stories or status and everything. And there's this person, she's into pageanting and everything. She came back and she's like, I never knew that kind of an organization is there in the world. I mean, it's such a wonderful thing and I want to learn more about it and everything. So I was like, yes. I mean, recently only there's this trainer who was from Turkey, and he came and he messaged me on LinkedIn. I see it and it's so wonderful, the kind of work that you're doing and everything. So they said that you're bridging both the things and all. And a lot of people recognize ICBI very well, I would say. Like I said, no, that's an Oxford for image consulting, if I can put it that way. So people know it.
Awesome. So how do you balance work and your personal life? I mean, because I'm sure you're doing a lot of things to manage your kids, your home, your work. So what does it take for you to, do that perfect management of balancing both your home as well as your personal, your work as well as your life? So what does it take for you to do that? perfectly? I mean, I'm sure it's not always perfect, but at the same time, you try to bring in that perfection at every given point of time. But what is it that Rashmi Rathore does to make things perfect?
So I have a simple mantra that I follow 4 Ds when it comes to management, managing my life, personal and professional. First, I would say is decide. I mean, you need to be very precise of what you want in life. When you know what you want, the journey becomes much easier. The how becomes clear. The second D I would say is delete. You have to come in terms with the thing that not everything you need to take all together. So I delete what's not important at a given point in time. The third is I delegate. And for delegation, you need to have a team. So, like my family knows that I'm a very focused person. So when I'm into a project, I eat, deep, sleep, and breathe through the project. So prior to my marriage, I would credit my success to my parents and my siblings. And post marriage, I would say it's my husband and my children who have, I believe that this would have been more of a challenge for them rather than for me because they have worked towards my goals with me. But to have such a strong team where you can trust and delegate, you need to build your relationships in that manner. So my third point is delegate. And last, I would say is doing. You have to do it. I mean, you want it, you have to work towards it. There's no other way around. Like Michelangelo once said it, and I really like that quote. He says, if the world would have known how much hard work I've put in to gain my mastery, it just wouldn't seem wonderful at all. So if the world knows what amount of hard work I put in into every project, they'll think it is obvious. You know, the amount of hard work that you put in, the results were obvious. But I do it. I mean, even if it's a very small project, even if it's a large scale thing, even if whatever may be the involvement of the client, my involvement is beyond 100% always. And so I get the results. So that's what. So I believe in the 4 Ds. Like first decide what you want exactly, then delete what is unimportant, then delegate the jobs that you can, create a team, create a network, and then delegate. And your team can be different. I mean, for me, it's my family. For people, it can be professionals and any which way. And last is do it. And when you do it with great conviction. I mean, do it with all your heart and soul. You will definitely be able to balance it if you do it that way.
So decide, delete, delegate, do it.
Do
Four
it,
things
yes.
which are very, very important.
Yes.
Excellent,
Yes.
excellent. So, Rashmi, how do you promote yourself? I mean, this is something which I'm sure everybody feels the importance of promoting themselves if they really want to establish themselves in the business of not just image consulting and soft skills training, but even otherwise. Because today, if you really want to establish yourself and do anything in life, promoting and packaging yourself, promoting yourself becomes very, very important. And how do you package? How do you promote? What does the other person perceive your brand to be like is very, very important. So,
True.
even in your case, how do you promote yourself? What are the platforms that work best for you? Is it your social media like LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, or is it word of mouth, or is it like free workshops or free sessions? What is it that works best for you in your case?
So in the first place, I would say that you, in image consulting or in any training industry, you are your brand. So you have to live in that manner wherein people look up to you and then they believe that the person can provide a solution. So like if I'm looking for fitness, somebody who's not so fit, who's flabby, who's ailing, and somebody says that I'm going to provide you the best solution, I may not trust that person as much as I would somebody who's very fit. So you are your brand. So first thing is that you have to live that thing. Then I'm on all social media platforms, if I may say. However, I'm not actually out and out marketing myself. I'll be very candid about it. I am there more to create an awareness. Because the most unfortunate part is that people do not even know where is the problem that's lying. I mean, people believe that I'm not able to excel in my academics or my professional career, or I'm failing in relationships because the fault lies with me. There's so much self doubt. People are living with low self esteem. So in the first place, I'm trying to create an awareness that there's a solution. Second, what that solution can be through my posts, and what are the professionals or who are the people who can provide you the solution. So my posts are more so about the solution exists, and image consultant, soft skills trainer are your solution. So the people can come back and understand, and whichever image consultant then they like, they can obviously collaborate with them. But the solution is there. So my only idea of being on social media is to create awareness. That is it.
So if you were not an image consultant and a soft skills trainer, what would you have been?
I would have still been a doctor practicing the same thing and providing, like I said, parallel solutions. So I said that I was already doing it. Like I said, it was not so structured as good as ICBI is what is providing. But I would have still been doing this. I mean, I would have still been the doctor. And the idea of getting into pageantry was also the same, that if you see pageants, you'll see transformation happening so quickly, like people getting into pageantry for those 3-4 days of grooming and then winning their title. The amount of self-confidence and the boost in their self-image is enormous. So that's also the reason that I'm associated with pageantry. People are surprised, you're a doctor and why are you doing it? Because I see people changing within a span of few days. So that's my way of contributing back to the pageants who've given me. So I always believe that, change can happen. You should be open to take the solutions. That's the thing. And you have to wholeheartedly work towards it. Things happen.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So how do you stay relevant, Rashmi? I mean, what do you do to stay relevant in today's times? Because I'm sure you realize that being relevant, staying up to date is the key in today's times.
Yes.
So what is your mantra to stay relevant?
One, I would say social media. A lot of time people think that we are mindlessly scrolling through the Instagram reels or that and everything, but it's not so. When I see, my idea is, because I have to give a solution to it can be a solution to a 10-year-old child, and it can be a solution to a 70-year-old gentleman. So what is happening in their time zone, I need to learn more about it. So social media and today's time, the information is at your fingertips. You must know what questions to ask. What to Google is very important rather than just surfing. So to know what is actually happening or in thing for college students or maybe school students or for people who are at their retirement age, since I'm not living in that time, I see those solutions or find my solutions through social media. So there are times I follow celebrities, there are times I'm following doctors, I'm following self-help books and everything. Also, one more thing that I want to credit to ICBI out and out is, for the longest period in my time, I was only reading medical books, and I was reading. I enjoy reading. But after ICBI happened, my vision has widened a lot. I mean, now my bookshelf has books from every possible arena. So every project, I would say, I would buy 4 more books, I'll read more, I'll research more. And the best part about this industry is that with every transformation or empowerment that you do to a client, you somewhere upgrade yourself, which is a wonderful thing. I mean, at times, researching in a project, you find wonderful solutions for your own self, and you realize, oh, this could have been possible, no? So the 2 things that I do is social media and reading. I mean, these are the 2 things I would say that I do religiously. Every day, maybe 3 hours minimum, I give it to reading. That's the least I do. So I read a lot. I take it out. People say, how do you find time to reading? I do not see my day without reading. So I can't live without reading. That's the way it is. So if I don't read, even if like the children are sleeping and all, then I like finish the chapter or something that I'm doing. But I do it. I feel very empty if I don't do that.
Your girls are 5 and 8, right? 5 years old
5 and
8 years old.
Yes.
Awesome.
But disciplined children, so they don't bother me much.
So one last question, Rashmi, before we take the questions from the audience.
Sure.
What is that one message that you would like to give to all those people who are aspiring to become image consultants and soft skills trainers?
Okay, so first of all, I would like to congratulate everyone who's aspiring to join this industry, because this is one industry I would say nobody is joining, because my mother was an image consultant, so I'm being an image consultant. Mr. Kapoor's son was an image consultant, so I am being, or we are the 4th generation image consultants. No. So this is the first time, I would say, in a structured or professional manner, we will be the first generation of image consultants. Prior to that, people have been practicing under different names, but as a generation, this will be first generation of image consultants. And it is a wonderful power that you have in your hand, that you can transform lives. Take this responsibility with all your heart, I would say. The Spider-Man movie's famous quote is, with great power comes great responsibility. So it's a wonderful thing that you have in your hand. It's more like magic that you have, but use this power very judiciously. As much as you can benefit people, a slight, I would say, aberration in the way you practice can cause damage to people. Entire family or siblings telling a child, you're fat, may not impact the child, but the child goes to a doctor and the doctor says, oh, you're obese. When it comes from an industry expert, the way you project your words, the way you provide those solutions will have a huge impact on your clients. So use this power very judiciously. And since we've all come into this industry, this is the only industry in the world where we've come by all our heart. And this was our dream that we are part. Nobody pushed anybody into this industry. So when you know how to conquer your dreams, no, it's you should be able to feel how your clients feel when they're unable to reach their goals. So maybe your journey can be somebody's success story. Your journey may inspire many people. So quote it very nicely. Tell inspiring stories to your clients and everyone, and that can be your niche also. Just live this power with huge responsibility. That much I would like to say.
And how you articulate that story also is going to be an
Yes,
art, because today is the world of storytelling.
true,
People
true
talk
indeed.
about real life incidents, people talk about real life uh, things that have happened, that have occurred, and they do storytelling out of that. Those become
True.
the learning lessons out of which people actually give examples. And this is how people attract audience. And, this is where storytelling becomes really magical.
Indeed, indeed.
Great. Fantastic. So, Rashmi, this was lovely. Let us open some questions of the audience. So, I would request all those people who are a part of this session, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You can ask me, you can ask Rashmi, and we are all there to answer your questions.
Meanwhile, while people are asking, I would like to congratulate you, Mrs. Agarwal, for this one of its kind show. I mean, this is phenomenal worldwide. There is no show which has an industry expert bringing in people from different walks of life and aspiring people to, everybody's story can tell us that what can be the roadblocks and how you can overcome those shortcomings. So it's such a
Absolutely.
wonderful thing, and you've been so consistent with it. I've been following your show for a very long time, and I must say this, I can vouch for it rather, that there's no show parallel to this. I personally enjoy it too much.
Thank
So
you.
it's
And this is
commendable.
specifically for all those people who are only from ICBI. So all the people who have certified from ICBI, their journey we showcase on this platform.
Yes. But I'm sure it's benefiting a lot of masses, people who are from different walks of life, they join in and then they learn that there's an industry like that and they're providing solutions. It's
Correct.
commendable. I mean.
In fact,
Kudos to
now
your
we are
vision, I would say.
starting a new series of all those people who have joined
Yes.
from the overseas.
Yes.
So that we are going to start very soon. So that will be another exciting thing for people to
Wonderful.
see.
You always come up with great ideas. I really love it.
All right. So, yes. Thank you, Soumya. She's saying that amazing session it was. Looking forward for more such sessions. Thank you so much. If anybody else also has anything else to say, Paulomi, thank you. Paulomi is a friend of mine. So she's saying, I agree. So anyone else who has any question to ask Rashmi or me, please feel free to ask before we wrap up the session. Otherwise, we'll close and we'll say goodbye. So we'll wait for 2 more minutes. Okay.
Sure.
So who is this? Chetna Modi, hello, this is my first time. Will this be saved? Yes, this will be saved on ICBI channel. So you can see the full recording. Anybody else who would like to ask any question regarding this industry, the profession of image consulting, soft skills training, about the courses of ICBI? If you have any queries, you can directly message me also. You can message ICBI. We'll be more than happy to give you all the answers. All right. So we'll wrap up this session. Thank you, Rashmi. Thank you once again, and wish you all the very best in your journey. And
thank
you all the audience for being a part of this live series. We'll see you once again next week. Until then, this is Dr. Rashmi Rathore and Suman Agarwal signing off. Thank you once again, Rashmi.
Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Agarwal. Thank you for having me on the show. Thank you, audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.